It just gave me a thought though, guys, like that I want to share. And it's, are minorities getting a fair chance? Like, really?
A1, A1, A1. Yeah, truly. Cooler and I'm flyer too. Damn. Cooler and I'm flyer too.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the show that's cooler and fly too. A1 Forever Sports. It's me again, he again, Chris Tip Moore, back with another segment, new segment for you guys, because be generational, because there's always time to be in. Why settle for less when you can have more with the vision, you dig? So, it's a topic that just came up in my head, a few days ago. Want to share with you guys. And thank you to all my subscribers first and foremost. Make sure to like and subscribe and just follow the channel for the new content when it does drop. Also a student in Full Sail University and the Dan Patrick program. So yeah, just follow me and follow my journey and be a part of the A1 family. The NFL season has come to a close. The champs have been crowned and all the head coaching vacancies have been filled now. Coaching hires went pretty quick after the Super Bowl game, don't you guys think? One after another. The Eagles lost both coordinators. And shout out to those men's and best wishes. It just gave me a thought, though, guys, like that I want to share. And it's, are minorities getting a fair chance? Like, really? Don't get me wrong. Yes, it's more minorities now than it's ever been. And it should be applauded, seriously. However, let's talk a little bit about some situations. The Houston Texans hired former Texans player and 49ers defensive coordinator DeMaco Ryans as their new head coach. I am so happy for the move and so happy for Mr. Ryans becoming a head coach in this league. Huh. I'm just asking, how did we even get here? How did we even get to DeMaco Ryans in the first place? Well, you have a former Texas owner who his comments about the inmates running the asylum when players decided to kneel for a cause. Despite what happened down the line with him, you had a young, disgruntled quarterback who you eventually had to trade. Then, since Bill O'Brien, since you finally let him go after starting 0-4, amongst other things, they had Romeo Crennel, David Culley, and Lovie Smith, all for a total of 42 games. 42. All three only received 1 year of service, asked to put a dumpster fire out using accelerants. No core pieces, no real quarterback. The list is long. Now enters DeMaco Ryans, and I'm hopeful that the Houston Texans does him right, because the Texans, they tanked their way into a great situation. They have great young talent at head coach. They also have a top pick coming in the draft. The Texans need to give Coach Ryans a quality amount of time to turn this franchise around. Or should I call it a dumpster fire again? Either way, 1 year won't cut it, and 2 years might not even do it, depending on the pieces that you have. Now, I don't want to do any comparison, but here are the facts of life. Dom Capers, Gary Kubiak, Bill O'Brien, all combined for 189 games in a GM position. I'm just saying, something's wrong with that. Let's have a brief discussion about Steve Wilks. Wilks took over the Panthers after starting 1-4. He went on to be 6-6 and had the Panthers at least in the discussion of winning the division, possibly. Carolina wanted to go offensive minded about their next head coach. So Frank Wright was hired, leaving Wilks disappointing. The locker room loved playing for the man. Carolina fans grew to love him. And he did get some big division wins. I mean, let's just keep that real. Wilks should have gotten that job, despite what the reports say. And yeah, I understand, when he was a head coach, He went 3-13. But I'm just saying, guys, I'm just saying, hear me out on that part. Wilkes only received 1 year, a 1 year stint in Arizona with Josh Rosen as his quarterback. Come on, man. Right is right. He won over the players, he won over the city. It's just too bad that the powers that be overlooked the signs. Wilkes is now the DC for the 49ers, and that's an excellent job. But I'm just wondering, did he get a fair chance? We're going to keep going because there's more in store. Do I really have to mention Brian Flores? He got 3 seasons, and 2 of them was with Ryan Fitzpatrick at quarterback for the Dolphins. The Dolphins plan to replace him with now Broncos head coach Sean Payton and the now retired quarterback Tom Brady. Tua wouldn't even have been a starter if everything would have fell through. The lawsuit filed by Flores got in the way of all of that, though. The reports of bribery by the owner. And let's not forget about the Bill Belichick text message. Yeah, you remember congratulating Brian Flores when really he was congratulating Brian Daboll on becoming the Giants head coach. The lawsuit that has former NFL coaches attached to it with accusations of shady treatment from their teams. The Dolphins ended up losing their first rounder, and the owner fined $1.5 million for tampering. After Flores made his voice heard, the only team that gave him a chance was the Pittsburgh Steelers. He did interview for the Cardinals job, but he is now the DC in Minnesota. I hope he does great things for the Vikings, and I hope he'll get another fair chance in the future for a head coaching position. Now we have reached former Chiefs OC, Eric Bieniemy. Bieniemy has interviewed over 15 times for a head coaching position. Since the Chiefs' first Super Bowl with Pat Mahomes, 5 straight AFC championship games, 2 Super Bowl rings as an OC. Now, the narrative was maybe he didn't interview well or just not head coaching material. And people had their own excuses, you know. Matter of fact, let me give you guys a list of head coaching jobs, guys who, didn't have any experience, but still got that head coaching position. Nathaniel Hackett, Brian Daboll, Arthur Smith, Kevin O'Connell, Joe Judge, Freddie Kitchens, Kevin Stefanski, Dan Campbell. You also can throw Josh McDaniels in this list, even though he's not a first-timer. And you can also now add both coordinators from the Eagles. And I'm just trying to see what these other men did that was so special and more valuable than a guy who has been to 5 straight AFC championship games with 2 Super Bowl rings. No experience, but he was the guy that was calling most of the plays in KC. Now EB is the OC and assistant head coach of the Washington Commanders, which I'll say it's not right that the man has to pretty much prove himself all over again. Head coach Ron Rivera is probably going to continue coaching after his battle with cancer. I don't know if Rivera is in any jeopardy of losing his gig, but I sure hope Bieniemy slides right into the position for his first head coach position very soon. It's been way too long, and I feel like he's been put through the ringer a little bit too much when it comes to this whole head coaching position thing. If you ask any of these men, I'm pretty sure they'll tell you they're happy with any opportunity to coach in the NFL. Still, don't get me wrong, I don't get it, because all these men, to me, are more than just coordinators. So this was just a thought. Just got me wondering, are minorities getting a fair chance? You guys let me know if I'm tripping. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Until next time, be generational because it's always time to be. Don't settle for less because you can always have more with the vision. The show that's cool and fly too, A1 Forever Sports, with your host, Chris Tipmore. Until next time, thank you guys all. Peace and blessings to you. And you already know what it is. I'll holler.
A1, A1, A1. Yeah, truly. Cooler and I'm flyer too. Jam.